right, everybody, it is time for our weekly segment with the Children's Museum of the Low Country. And of course, my friend Karen Coltrane, CEO and president, is here with me, as she is every Wednesday.
Yeah.
And Karen, last week you shared some really exciting news.
I did.
And so we're gonna get to that again in a second. So if you missed it, we'll get to it. But first, we want to talk about some family-friendly events happening this week.
I got two I want to tell you about quickly. The Charleston County Public Library is doing Crisscross Mango Sauce, which is a very cool. You got to go on their website because they've got 6 different locations tomorrow and Friday that they're holding it across the county at different branches of the library. But it combines Latin rhythms and American children's rhymes, and it gets kids singing and dancing and learning Spanish and English, so it should be kind of fun. And this was funded by a grant through the Institute of Museum and Library Services. So libraries and museums go after the same pot of federal money. It's very competitive. So this has to be a good program or they would not have gotten this funding. So I encourage parents to, it's getting hot, you know, go look on the library website, Charleston County, and see if you can't find out about this. It'd be a good thing to take the little ones to.
Yeah, that's an insider tip right there.
There you go. The next event I want to tell you about is just delightful, and people know of this event. It's the Ladybug Day at Magnolia Plantation and Gardens. So it's free with admissions. Tickets can be purchased online, and they encourage kids to wear ladybug costumes. How cute is that? And one of the things I really like, families can bring picnic blanket and their furry friends and comfy chairs. So if you didn't know, your furry friends can go along with the family. That kind of makes it fun. But they want comfy chairs so you'll stay a while because they're having crafts, games, snacks, live music, interactive wildlife encounters, which we always enjoy. And it's a great way to learn about our diverse ecosystem in the Low Country. And you actually get to help Magnolia, the gardens, by helping put out the ladybugs because they're, you know, not only gorgeous, they're very helpful. So, like most of the women I know. So, and there's those two, and now the third one that we're selfishly again going to talk about is our own. This Saturday, it's a public opening for Live 5 News exhibit at the Children's permanent exhibit at the Children's Museum. So, you know, I want to mention the impact of an exhibit like this. And my parent tip, I'm going to go a little bit deeper in just a second. But, you know, Children's Museum TV exhibits have inspired and helped form this very TV show, right?
Yep.
Our own Abigail Whittington,
our producer,
remembers one of her first experiences was in a TV exhibit in a children's museum, I think North Carolina. Yep. So, you know, it can happen, people.
Yeah, it can happen.
When children are career curious when they're little, it's a great time to expose them to a lot of different experiences. A lot of people think, oh, it's too soon, but it's not. You know, it's a great time to do it, just like it impacted Abigail.
Definitely.
So remember, our own Joey Sovine will be there on Saturday with families as we open that to the public in the official grand opening. So anyway, just want to put a plug out for that.
Yeah, and if you missed last week's segment, you know, this is going to be like an actual mini version of the station. Like the exterior looks exactly like it does here at the station. You know, we have an actual switchboard, so they can actually really see what it's like.
It's the switchboard that was here.
Yeah.
That
a piece of history.
A piece of history from this museum. The kids will probably tear the buttons off, but we'll glue them back on. That's what we do.
Yeah.
But lots of dials and things to move and touch. I know now it's all digital, so you know, but it's still fun to have that sort of analog experience with that. But the lights and the green screen and all the things that you expect to see in a studio.
We're so excited for this. Definitely bring the kids out to this one. I can't wait to be out there and play around with everything. It's going to be so much. I had too much fun in St. George, so I know this one's going to be really fun.
That's right. You did. Well, you know, I want to talk about the sort of what this exhibit inspires is pretend play, like a lot of our exhibits. I think I mentioned before we just reopened the pirate ship as going back to its history as a shrimp boat, and we put it beside the dock in the room, and we have a dockside cafe, and the kids are absolutely loving it, and the parents sit and the kids wait on them. It's pretend play at its finest. The TV station's going to offer the same type, and what I wanted to kind of highlight for parents is that pretend play, which of course happens in your own homes or really in the car or wherever kids are, is a great opportunity to really improve their communication skills. And I think not everybody always connects those two, because pretend play, you tend to think about imagination, but there's a lot of communication that happens there that parents can, what in education we call scaffold, but normal people would say parents are kind of just supporting this process. And some ways to do that are asking questions as a child is pretend playing and kind of guide the play, as we say. So, you know, if they're in the TV station, ask them, how would you give that weather report if it was going to rain today? Make them think. Make them drop back, and they will respond. Kids love this. And then keep following with it and have them talk through or come up with a decision and then describe what they're thinking. Those are great ways to build communication skills and critical thinking skills for young children. I think it's also, pretend play gives you a great opportunity to practice storytelling, which, as you know, is your job. But it's a lot of our jobs. When I go out and talk to donors to the museum, I tell stories. I mean, that's there are a lot of jobs that require that, and storytelling is a great way. I actually we're doing renovations. I work with electricians at the museum who, you know, I always delight in the ones that can kind of tell me the story interestingly of what's going on with the electrical system. So I think this skill translates into so many occupations and just being a fun human to be around. But there's a real value in toys, manipulatives, and encouraging your child to tell a story with them. So when they're there and playing and doing pretend play, just think about asking questions, getting them to tell a story. You might start a prompt. What would that little teddy bear do if it had to eat asparagus? It's random, but they'll build on that, and then you build on it. So,
we have school trips come here pretty often now, and you know, seeing the kids light up when you talk about weather, and they love this type of thing, and you don't even realize they're doing it, and they're so good at it too. And you know what? Something I've realized from little kids, they love talking about snow.
Yes.
That is something, because we don't have it much, and I'm always like, what's your favorite type of weather? And they're like, snow, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I wish you could experience that more, but I'm sure we'll see that at the exhibit.
Well, you know, last year we did the only kind of snow we could have in Charleston, which was fake snow. But they loved it. Yeah,
I'm sure it'll come back.
No, I could do without the hurricanes, but other than that, weather's fascinating.
Oh, it definitely is. We're definitely going to see a lot of mini meteorologists at this exhibit. And just as a reminder, the exhibit is opening Saturday. So after Saturday, go have fun. Let your kids run wild at the exhibit. We're so excited about this.
Yeah, well, we're excited for the partnership.
Yay. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.